Good morrow, ladles and jelly spoons. Welcome to the catastrophe. Fun. So, hi. Been a hot minute. So I've got my red hair, got my shiny, it's so fancy. Some spooky stories of doom. I did some research and found out that some of these are actually based off of true stories. So I'll read this one. A weird blue light. Late one night in October of 1864, a Confederate blockade runner slipped by some Union gunboats at the entrance of Galveston Bay in Texas and made it safely to port with its cargo of food and other necessities. Lewis Billings, the master of the small vessel, was getting ready to weigh anchor when he was startled by a shriek from one of the crew. A strange, old-fashioned schooner with a big black flag was rushing down on us. Billings said later, "She was afire with a sort of a weird, pale blue light that lighted up every nook and cranny of her. The crew was pulling out the ropes and doing other work, and they paid us no attention. Didn't even glance our way. They all had ghastly bleeding wounds, but their faces and eyes were those of dead men." The man who had shrieked had fallen to his knees, his teeth chattering as he gasped out a prayer. Overcoming my own terror, that was chilling the very marrow of my bones, I rushed forward, shouting to the others as I ran. Suddenly, the schooner vanished before my eyes. Some say that it was the ghost of Jean Lafitte's pirate ship Pride. It sank off Galveston Island in 1821 or 1822. She was seen again in 1892 in the same waters with the same crew. Somebody fell from aloft. I had signed on as an ordinary seaman on the Falls of Ettrick, a merchant ship bound for England. The first time I saw that ship, I knew her right away. She was the old Gertrude Spurshoe. I had sailed on her years before when she was painted brown and gold. Now she was painted black and had a new name, but it was the same ship for sure. We had a pretty good crew for that voyage, except for one hard-looking ticket named McLaren. He was a pretty good seaman, but there was something about him that I didn't trust. He was kind of secretive, kept mostly to himself. One day somebody told him that I had worked on old Gertrude. For some reason he got all a tremble over that. Then I catched him giving me all these ugly black looks as if he was itching to knife me in the back. I guess it had something to do with the Gertrude, but I didn't know what. Well, this one day we was trying to work our way through a dripping black fog. You'd scarcely know we had all the lights on, and it was dead calm. There wasn't a breath of fresh air. The ship just lay there wallowing in a trough, rolling and a-rolling, going nowheres. I was standing my watch around midships, and McLaren was doing his trick at the wheel. The rest of the crew was scattered around one place or another, and it was as quiet as could be. Then all at once, wacko! This thing hits the deck right in front of McLaren. He lets go a screech that turns my blood cold, and he falls down in a faint. The second mate starts yelling that somebody has fallen from aloft. Laying out there just forward of the wheel was someone or something, dressed in oilskins with blood oozing out from underneath. The captain ran and fetched a big light from his cabin so we could see who it was. They kind of straightened him out to get a good look at his face. He was a big, ugly-looking devil. Nobody knew who he was or what he was doing up there. At least, nobody was saying. When McLaren came to from his faint, they tried to get something out of him. All he did was jabber away and keep rolling those big, wild-looking eyes of his. Everybody was getting more and more excited. We all wanted to heave the body overboard as quick as we could. There was something weird about it, as if it wasn't real. But the captain wasn't so sure about getting rid of it that way. Could it be a stowaway? He asked. But the ship was so filled with lumber we were carrying that there was no space where a living thing could hide for 3 weeks, which is how long we had been out. Even if it was a stowaway, what was it doing aloft on such a dirty day? There was no reason for anyone to be up there. There was nothing to see. Finally, the captain gave up and told us to heave him overboard. Then nobody would touch him. The mate ordered us to pick him up, but nobody made a move. Then he tried coaxing, but that didn't do any good. Suddenly, that loony McLaren starts yelling, "I handled him once, and I can handle him again." He picks up the body and staggers over to the railing with it. is just about to throw it overboard when it wraps its two big, long arms around him, and over they go together. And then on the way down, one of them starts laughing in a horrible way. The mates are all yelling to launch a boat, but nobody would get into a boat, not on a night like that. We threw a couple of life preservers after them, but everybody knew they wouldn't help. So that was that. Or was it? The first chance I got to go home after that, I went right over to see old Captain Spurshoe, who was captain when the Gertrude was around. Well, and he says, one trip these two outlandish men shipped aboard the Gertrude. One was McLaren. The other was a really big fella. The big one was always picking on McLaren and thumping him around. McLaren was always talking about how he would get back at him. Well, this wet, dirty night, the two of them was up there alone, and the big one come flying down, killed himself, deader than herring. McLaren says the foot rope they were using parted and he almost fell himself. But everybody who saw that rope knew she didn't give away on her own. She had been cut through with a knife. After that, whenever we came into port, McLaren thought we were going to get the police after him. And he'd get pretty scared. But we couldn't prove anything, so we didn't try. In the end, I guess the big fella took care of things in his own way. If he was a ghost that came back, that's what he was. If there be things like ghosts. I'm gonna read my absolute favorite. I don't think I've read it yet, and if I have, we could read it again. My favorite. This is my absolute favorite story. We'll read this, and yeah. The Little Black Dog. Billy Mansfield said that a little black dog followed him wherever he went, but he was the only one who saw it. So people thought he was kind of crazy. To drive the dog away, Billy was always hollering at it, throwing rocks at it, but the dog always came back. The first time Billy saw that dog was the day he fought Silas Burton. Billy was just a young man then, but the Burtons and the Billy's family had been feuding for years. When Billy saw Silas riding toward him, he went for his gun and Burton went for his, but Billy fired first. He hit Burton in the back, knocking him from his horse. Burton's horse ran off and his gun fell where he couldn't reach it. He lay there on the ground, pleading with Billy not to kill him, but Billy killed him anyway. Burton's little black dog was with him when he was shot. The dog kept licking Burton's face and barking and snarling at Billy. In his anger, Billy killed that dog too. There wasn't much law enforcement in those days, so Billy wasn't arrested. But all that night, he heard Burton's dog outside his cabin, scratching on his door, barking to be let in. I'm imagining this. Billy said to himself, I shot that dog. It's dead. But the next morning, Billy saw that dog. It was waiting for him outside. From then on, there was not a day when he didn't see it. And there wasn't a night when he didn't hear it scratching on his door, barking to be let in. From then on, Billy was always finding black dog hairs on the sofa, on the floor, in his bed, even in his food. And the house and the yard stank of dog. That's what Billy said. Whenever somebody told him there wasn't any dog to see, he'd say, maybe you don't see it, but I do, and I'm not any crazier than you are. Things went on like that for many years. Then one morning, in the middle of the winter, the neighbors didn't see any smoke coming out of Billy's chimney. When he went over to check, Billy wasn't there. A day or so later, they found his body lying in the snow in a field in the back of his cabin. Billy had plenty of enemies. I wonder why. And at first, it seemed like somebody might have killed him. But there wasn't a mark on his body, and there weren't any footprints out there except for Billy's. The doctor said Billy probably died of old age, but there was something odd about his death. When the neighbors found Billy, there were black dog hairs on his clothes. There were even a few on his face. It smelled like dog had been out there. Yet no one had seen a dog anywhere. 3 magical stories of doom from the ever-popular Spooky Goodness. Look, we're sisters. That's me in the morning before coffee. Jesus. Makeup of doom, hair of doom. It is red. Do you like? I like the red. It's fancy. It's got different colors, and even when I do this, you can see the lovely dandruff. Yeah, that's just my soul peeling out of my body. That's great. I just wanted to do this little video of doom. I hope you guys enjoyed stories and also whatever this is. For those of you that are new or coming back, or for those of you that enjoy my videos, I just want to say thank you so very much for being patient with me and for being supportive and for your kind words and just for being the kind of souls that make me want to continue being better. Words are friend not good. Speak English. I can't. So, on that note, I'm gonna go that way. If you guys have any ideas for videos, please let me know down in the comments below, because your words inspire me. I want to tell you guys how much I really do appreciate you, and that if it wasn't for you, I'd be more of an introvert, and I probably wouldn't even try. So, I'm gonna stop speaking. I want to take the stuff off my face. I don't like it. I have really textured skin. And on that note, I'm gonna go. So, thank you everyone so much for watching, and if you liked it, I hate doing that. I hate fishing. I don't want to fish. Yeah. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can maybe see a video every either a week or 2 weeks or sometimes in a month. Yeah, I want you to wait and support me, okay? Because, you know, I need it. I live off of the likes. Yeah, I don't know why I'm suddenly from Wisconsin, because there's cheese. We like the cheese there. Anyway, on that note, I'm gonna shut up and go away. I think that the makeup's getting to my brain. That's right. Love you, Shanny Fannies! Love you, Shanny! I just felt like saying that because I know she'll watch this and get a kick out of it. I love everybody! I may do commentary for gaming if I can get the right camera recording equipment. Thank you all so very much for watching and putting up with my BS. And on that note, I shall bid thee anon. Mwah!